Hey everyone, Thor here. I just saw Abigail, which is a new horror movie. After everything else I saw this year, Night Swim and the other PG-13 garbage, this one's rated R. We have a shot. Thank Dracula. Let's get into it. So Abigail's got Melissa Barrera, of Scream fame. She's great as Sam and Scream. She's great in this as well. Dan Stevens plays Frank, and there's a bunch of other people. They're all criminals, and they abduct this girl. They all have different backgrounds. Like Frank's an ex-cop. Joey, Melissa Barrera's character, is like a drug addict or something that wants to just do what's best for her son. There's a guy that's, the muscles. They all play a role, and you get to meet them. And the first 45 minutes to an hour is about building up the chemistry between them, the backstories. You get a little bit, but you know who's going to die first. You definitely do. You call it. And when you watch a movie and you think you're right, you're totally right, because that's how it goes. I think this movie would have been more interesting if the trailers didn't tell us that the girl is a vampire, just because it would have been like the thing where you don't know what's going on. Kind of the less you know, play up the mystery, the less you know, the better it is. Fortunately, the trailer says the little girl is a vampire, and she tries lying to them and turning them against each other, and that's when it's really, really interesting. And that happens for a bit, but eventually they know she's a monster and she is what she is, and they find out that this is her game she plays, and they all got trapped there, and they're there for a reason. I'm not gonna go into too many spoilers with that. They're all there for their own reason. As a vampire movie, it's got great moments. It changes the rules a bit. They all think about the movies, and they're like, all right, we need crosses, we need garlic. There's a lot of dark humor. There's a lot of good jokes in here, and they're not all the time. They're well placed. I laughed out loud a couple times, and I think the dark humor is definitely there, but it's definitely a serious horror movie and decent moments of gore and blood. I think the vampire deaths were a little little over the top, but they explode. So, and they did some CG blood, which sometimes looks decent, sometimes it looks really, really bad. It's kind of a mixed bag there. Like I said, though, I like the character building and how they all work together and figure things out together and how they work off each other. The house kind of reminded me of the mansion from Resident Evil. I think they were definitely influenced at some parts. Some rooms definitely looked like it. I also feel like the basement was very Saw influenced, because I kind of got Saw vibes from that. I might be the only one, but that's two movies I thought of. This movie kind of reminded me of 30 Days a Night, also From Dusk Till Dawn, just because of the vampire theme, and more from Till Dusk Till Dawn, just because the first half of this movie definitely has a different feel than the second half, where in the beginning it's a bunch of criminals and they're hanging out, they're having some beers, and kind of learning about each other, but not using real names. They're just being very vague, and they're trying to figure out what they're doing, and they find out what really takes off is they figure out that she's the daughter of this huge criminal, and they all know the name. They're all terrified of him. And that's when some of them are we're out, and they're like, oh, we can't leave. And then all of a sudden people start dying, and it's a horror movie, and they figure out they're trapped there, and it all goes from there. I'm not going to spoil the ending. I thought the ending was interesting, but I think it went on a little too long. Overall, though, I think the movie's a lot of fun. I think it's definitely worth seeing. It had a few twists. It wasn't exactly what I expected. So, I mean, that's great, because all we get is remakes and redos of everything. I mean, like I said, it's not quite I'm not going to say it's the thing, but definitely, worth watching and a lot of fun. I say check it out. I'll see you in the next one. Thor out.